Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Mohammed here again. Tonight we have a double teacher feature. It's going to feature me reading you a story and our lovely, amazing, and extremely talented art teacher, Mrs. Sokolowski, leading us in how to draw one of the characters from the books. It's going to be awesome. So after we're done reading the story, make sure you pause the video and grab a sheet of paper and a pencil or marker or whatever you want to do your little drawing. Alright, so today's book is about an animal, and the title of it is Jump. So do you think you have predictions on what animal our story might feature? I can think of a couple. Well, today it's going to feature a frog. That's right. And our book is called Jump. Why do you think I yelled it? The exclamation point probably gave me a hint. And today our book is by Scott M. Fischer. So I hope you enjoy this book. Keep an eye out for all the amazing rhyming words in it. And let's see what happens in our book Jump tonight. I hope you enjoy it. Bye!
Jump, written by Scott M. Fischer. That frog looks pretty hungry. Well, I'm a bug, I'm a bug. I'm a snug little bug, and I'm sleeping on a jug until I see a frog, and I jump. Well, I'm a frog, I'm a frog. I'm a frog in a bog, and I'm sleeping like a log until I see a cat, and I jump. I wonder if you can predict what the cat is gonna see. Well, I'm a cat, I'm a cat. I'm a fat little cat, and I'm sleeping on a mat until I see a hound, and I jump. Well, I'm a hound, I'm a hound. I'm a round little hound, and I'm sleeping very sound until I see a croc, and I jump. Well, I'm a croc, I'm a croc. I'm a croc on a dock, and I'm sleeping like a rock until I see a shark, and I jump. Well, I'm a shark. I'm a shark. My teeth spark in the dark. I don't sleep because I'm a shark. But when I see a whale, I jump. I jump clear out of the ocean. Well, I'm a whale. I'm a whale. I'm a whale setting sail, and it's time to end this tale. Sploosh! And there we have all our characters. We've got the whale, the shark, the croc, the hound, the cat, the frog, and lastly, the bug. And there they all go. The bug's back on the jug, frog on the log. Do you remember the cat's rhyming word? Cat was sleeping on the mat. What about hound? Sleeping sound. Croc on a dock. Shark doesn't sleep in the dark. And a whale ends the tale. The end.
Hey Sunnyside, this is Mrs. S. Mrs. M and I decided to make this a little bit more creative. We're going to add me drawing a frog for you. Mrs. M read a story about a frog, and I'm about to show you how to draw a frog at home. Take some time with your family, enjoy the video. If you don't have time to do it tonight, you can always re-watch tomorrow, watch it in slow motion, hit pause, restart, and you all should be able to draw a frog by the end of this. Post your frogs so that we can see what they look like. Alright, I'm going to start drawing. I did do some practices, as you can see. I went around and I collected paintbrushes, Q-tips because I'm going to show you a pretty cool technique you can do. If you don't have this stuff at home, that's perfectly fine. You can also use crayons or colored pencils to color your frog. I have Sharpies here because, as you all know, Mrs. M loves her Sharpies. And then I have some Crayola markers and a cup of water. So for the frog, there's something creative about this frog. I'm going to use the word frog to make a frog. So I start by making my letters and I space them apart. And of course, if you mess up, you can always erase and go back. Then I'm going to go for the eyes first. I just add little tops to the eyes, which creates like the eyeball. And then I'm going to add little circles, and you could put your eyes however you want. You can put them up, you can put them middle and lower, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I draw little circles because I always tell you to have little highlights to your eyes. And then I'm going to take this is going to be the mouth. And I'm going to take it up and make a little smile. You don't have to put a smile on yours. If you want to, you can. And then I'm going to take this bottom of the R and hook it down and around, and that creates the mouth of the frog. Then you're going to go to the middle of the R and wrap it around, so that created the head of the frog. The next part is to go from the middle of this top and hook it down to the line of the F. Then this line here can create a polka dot on your frog. The next step, I'm going to use this bottom of the F to create a back leg. Now we want those back legs to look like they have muscles. And then frogs have long, skinny feet. And then I'm going to take this line of the bottom of the F and, I'm going to take this, and this is going to be the back leg. And you need to give it some muscle again, and we're going to shoot this leg out like he's jumping. Now if your legs don't go in the same direction, it's fine, because frogs' legs don't always go in the same direction when they jump. Now I'm going to take the bottom of the R, and I'm going to use this to draw the front of the leg, the front leg. And again, you do long, skinny fingers or claws. And then the front as well. And then we need to take this and wrap it around so it looks like his leg comes up and around and connect. And you have a frog. Then I'm gonna add some little eyebrow lines. You don't have to do that. I'm gonna add some polka dots. If you wanted to, you could add a tongue and add a little fly out here. I'm just going to continue with my polka dots. And then you could add little motion lines, like he's jumping. You could add some water down here, like he's jumping in a pond. You could add a background with some rocks if you wanted to. You could add a sun. I know you all love putting your sun up in the corner of your picture, so you could add a sun. The last thing I'm going to show you is tracing, which you should all know how to trace. You know Mrs. S is obsessed with her tracing. So I'm going to take the black Sharpie, because I like showing that it says frog. You don't have to do this, and if you don't have black Sharpies, that's okay. You could use a black crayon, a black colored pencil, a black Crayola marker, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I traced frog so we can see that it says frog. And then I'm going to take my green Sharpies and I'm going to trace the entire frog. And yes, as you know, Mrs. M's hands shake every time she draws, so I'm sure you can all see that in the video. And if you get off the line, what do I always tell you? Erase the pencil lines when you're done. It's perfectly fine. It will still look like a frog. You just need to finish the line that you started so that it doesn't look like a mess up. And we just fix those lines so then we know they're not mess ups. Or if you really don't like it, as I always say, you can always just start again. Now I'm going to color these few dots in. And I'm not going to color my background for now, but maybe I'll color my background later and I'll post a picture because I don't want to take up your time. I want you to be able to make frogs as well. I'm going to give them 2 little nostrils. So then, like I always say, you take your eraser, and I always tell you not to use the back of a pencil eraser, but this is a good pencil eraser. Not like the ones we have at our classroom right now. So that's why we use white erasers in our classroom, but here we're going to use the pencil eraser because that's probably what you have at home. And then I am going to go over these little lines because I did make it part of the drawing. So for the technique that I wanted to show you, it's very simple. Some of you actually did it in the classroom. I started doing it in some classes just to show you it because I thought it was pretty cool. So you take the Crayola markers, and it only works with Crayola. Don't try it with your Sharpie. You need Crayola markers in order to do this technique. Of course, if you don't have Crayola markers, you can just use your crayons and colored pencils to finish it. And I colored that big dot. Then, I'm not going to use paintbrushes, I'm going to use Q-tips because that's an item you might have at home and you would probably have water so that you can dip into. And I have my PJ Masks up here. But when you go over it, it smears. So it adds a little bit of blending. Now, if you're using computer paper, don't push too hard because it will rip your paper. So I'm not pushing very hard because I'm using computer paper. So I don't want it to go through the paper and then I'll have a hole in my paper. So you go through and you can blend how you wish. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll be able to post some more. So this is my frog. Hopefully you'll be able to post pictures of your frog. I will make sure I finish the background and I'll get a picture up for you of what the finished product looks like. Show me your frogs. Thank you.